All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning. How's it going, Estudio Rebel? Let's get this one down. Looks like got microphone to OBS, but nothing else. Good morning, Paul Cutler. All right. Shuffle the chats around here, and then we're good to go. Let's see. Oh, this is still not. Oh, it finished pulling, but now it's indexing. Okay. I wisened up a bit and updated my repo before started the stream. Although it had a lot of commits, right? Over 1,000 commits? Must have been a long time since I updated, I guess. How's it going, C. Grover? Good morning. Let's see here. So, I guess let's do a quick introduction. So, for anybody that might be new, my name is Tim. I go by Foamy Guy on GitHub and Discord. We will be working primarily with CircuitPython stuff on my streams typically. It's not 100% of the case. I've ventured into some JavaScript and some 3D modeling and some other things on occasion. But CircuitPython is certainly the majority of the stuff that I stream. If you are new and you don't know what that is, CircuitPython is a version of Python that runs on tiny computers called microcontrollers. You can learn more at circuitpython.org if you want to learn more about the project. I also encourage you to join us over on the Discord, which is linked down below, adafru.it/discord. All the development takes place and the coordination is through Discord. The development is out in the open on GitHub. It's an open source project, and we all collaborate via Discord. We have tiny computers. We're running Python code on these computers. And then diving in more specific today, I'm interested in this tiny computer, the Pico W. I have the Feather TFT here. We're not going to be using that. Actually, let me unplug it so that we only have one device. But Pico W, I got some in from DigiKey just yesterday. And I should say thanks again to Paul Cutler for the tip about DigiKey. I haven't had a chance to mess with the Pico W at all yet, so this is kind of my first time playing with it. So we'll go through the setup process, and my goal is to try out the Wi-Fi stuff. So we'll try to get it connected to my network. We'll try to make some requests and just see what we can do with it. See what the setup process is like, and just try out a couple of different things. How's it going, DJ Devin? Let's see here. Yeah, I've got a special fancy horchata coffee this morning. Went to a local coffee shop this morning. They just reopened because a truck drove into their door like 2 weeks ago or something. It's crazy. They kind of like completely remodeled inside there, which is insane. The whole place is like flipped around differently than it was, but really good coffee, especially this horchata one. Dinobot? Oh, did it delete something? Yeah, it's a little happy on the delete trigger sometimes. So this is merged in, so I think we can. I mean, we could either just build main, or I believe we could just take it from. We could just take it from CircuitPython.org. I think, right? We should. I mean, maybe S3 specific, but. Oh, maybe not. Okay. It's not listed here yet? Interesting. Oh, there it is. Oh. Oh, weird. Ah, interesting. I almost think we need, like, keywords or something. Because if you take away the space, it doesn't find it. Eventually, it will be farther up towards the top of the list, though, truthfully. Especially with DigiKey having 1,000 of them in stock. Thousands of them in stock. That'll get into consumers' hands sooner rather than later, I would assume. We have an influx of people interested in using it. So, was this in beta 1? I mean, this is 3 days ago, was 2 days ago. This was merged 2 days ago. I want to say it's in beta 1. Okay, that'll be a little tougher because that's since 7.3.0. Grid.contains. That was my tiny but interesting and exciting for me contribution. Yeah, this makes it tough, I guess, because we don't know. Is there anything specific to Pico W? Preliminary implementation? Let's just let's go to S3 and just we'll get the latest one. It may not. It may just be the same, but oh, okay. No, yeah, beta 1 is actually older. Okay. But we do need a newer one. I guess, I mean, realistically, probably like right here where it changes to 2.3, I guess, right? This is probably where, yeah, 2 days ago. That's got to be where it was added. We'll take the latest. And then I don't know, does this, it's been a while since I set up a Pico. What does it do? Oh, I guess we may need a reset button, don't we? Right, these don't have a reset button. We may be using a reset bodge wire. Okay. We have UF2 already, it looks like. Morning, Paul SK. There was some talk about that in the dev channel the other day, adding Pike out. Yeah, I think it'd probably be good to at least let it show in the search. I think we want both to work, so I don't necessarily think we want to just change it or anything like that, but ideally there will be a way we could add a keyword that like counts as this board if you search for it. Didn't think that at first, but pie cow might not be a great marketing thing because cow pies are not a great thing. Yeah, but cow pies are the other way around. Missed that discussion, brings up some interesting points. Pimeroni has them so-called, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the little, the reset button that goes along the side. I have seen that thing before. I don't have any of them myself. It would be nice, though. I should put together a Pimeroni order. $1.67. Yeah, that's well worth it, honestly. I wonder, does it fit on the W, or is there something else in the way, maybe? I guess they'll probably make a new one that fits if it doesn't fit already. Alright, what do we end up? There we got CircuitPy, okay. There we go. Pico W. Probably just hello world. Yeah. Is this done yet? Git log indexing. Not quite. I guess that's different though, I don't know. So we're gonna certainly need some libraries. Adafruit requests, I'm sure, at a minimum. Anything else? I mean, if we're using built-in Wi-Fi module, maybe not, right? I guess we'll need a secrets pie, which I'll need to fill in off screen if everything works out all right. Let me do that real fast. How's it going, Carl Ocelop over in the Twitch chat? Today I'm working on the Raspberry Pi Pico W, and I'm trying out the latest builds of CircuitPython for this device. And trying to use it to access things on the network, things on the internet or local network. If you don't know like about CircuitPython or what any of that stuff is, I can explain a little bit more in depth. But that's what we're working on, is latest versions of CircuitPython for this device. So I guess maybe we start with, let's just hit requests repo and then the examples. There should be some examples we could use. Oh, and I need to do the secrets. That's what I was going to do. Okay, we're definitely on the other screen, right? Yeah, we're definitely on the other screen. I guess I could just copy the file. Probably what I should have done. Don't you dare. Okay. W is the same form factor in pinout. I put one of the Primaroni shims. Yeah, the only thing that I wonder about is if, because isn't it somewhere around here, or is it on the other side maybe? This thing could be in the way though, right? Depending on how far up it goes. That's the only bit I didn't know about. It's on the right side. If you consider the USB facing forwards. Yeah, I mean, it feels like this thing would be pretty close to the to this. And I'm unsure how far in it sticks. I don't know if there's enough room if it actually touches that, but it also, maybe it's further up too. Maybe it doesn't actually touch that, in which case it should fit. It looks good as long as it's up here, but not sure the exact pins it goes over. Solve the problem. Solve the reset by creating the PCB just for the reset. Has the stemma MIDI breakout. Oh, nice. So you made like a little kind of like ride-along breakout thing for it. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Okay, let's unplug this one so we don't have two CircuitPy drives. Let's get our requests example. I use them on several Picos. Don't know if it fits on the W. Let's see here. 16 key sequencer, nice. So we would want this one, I think. Yeah. So this one does a couple of things. Gotta be better about not just putting my stuff out here if I can. Care about the IP, I don't think. That's fine. And let's start with just one of these. We don't necessarily need to do all of these at once. So let's say maybe we're just going to do text first. Start there. It's going to hit HTTP bin. Interesting, these are the same URL. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. All right, I think this is the same board you showed on Show and Tell, I think, maybe, right? I do remember seeing that. 45 minutes ago, busy with other passion, ham radio. Made a CW Morse code two-way contact station with a station in Delaware on 28 megahertz, 1 megahertz higher than so-called Citizens band. Only an RF power output of 10 watts. Nice. To Delaware. Nice. Direct replacement. That's cool. Okay. What did we actually get here? Okay. We got data. The easy part. Got the easy part. So let's maybe just keep adding them one at a time or something. So we'll fetch JSON next, which really, it's fetching the same data. It's just using JSON. You know what's interesting though? Why do we have JSON as a function but text as a property, I wonder? That's kind of odd, right? I guess JSON is doing something, whereas text is just providing something. Is that the distinction? Content is a property. Text is a property. JSON is a function. I mean, I guess at this point, this would like break a bunch of code if we... Well, no, you can call a property as a function, can't you? You could call text still as a function, right? Does that work? If you do this, does it work? Ooh, I don't know. It doesn't like it. String object is not callable. Oh, okay. You can't because it's returning the string. Interesting. There must be a way though, right? Call Python call property function. Doesn't fit the reset button. That's a bummer. I'm sure they'll be making a new one though, right? Hmm. This is all about making properties, but I don't know. Maybe you can't just call the function. I would have assumed you could, since it's like it has a def just like any other function, but it doesn't seem to work that way. Anyway, that doesn't matter too much, truthfully. Okay. We got text here, and then JSON object here. It is the same data. This one is just now as a JSON object. I wonder what this is. Amazon Trace ID? You guys are tracking my Amazon here? Curious. By the way, just finished opening Twitch. This is being annoying. Just finished opening Twitch. Being annoying. Good morning, Gordy G. How's it going? Talking about the reset. He thought you were talking about the pin headers. Missed that part. Sorry about it. Oh, no worries. You just run, not in. Does it have an enable pin too? Do they work? Would they work the same? Doesn't the enable pin cut power? Hitting your own reset button. Simple though. Enable the ground. In is for 3 volts, 3.3 volts. So let's see, does posting work? Could be turning off the first ones, but it's also good to check all of these in order, right? Like post does. Oh, interesting. It posts. Oh, this one's a JSON post. Isn't the first one a JSON post also, or no? Data. Oh, okay. Nice. Here's the things it's been tested on so far. Did this ever finish? Yeah, finally 25 minutes. Maybe partially updated? I don't know. Maybe it's not actually. Jim cuts the power, the reset he resets. JSON deals mostly with JSON data structure format, parsing in and out of that format. With request library, makes things so much easier. Okay, so I want to try. I'm interested to try a few different places. I think one thing I would like to try is a local server, which I know this is not CircuitPython, but I'm interested to try it nonetheless. I usually use Django. Maybe we'll go simpler with Flask, though. Can I move this? Oh. Oh, right. Gotta actually put the right password. I see. What do we need superuser for here? I guess because I chose the system Python. Ampule is a simple HTTP server for CircuitPython. They've also been doing work on the Adafruit implementation. Ooh, interesting. Heading towards web workflow. You should try out the web workflow. Is that set up on this device? I don't actually know. What did we got a new project, but we have like nothing in it? Weird. Why it didn't give us any code? Why? How is it a Flask project then? Weird. Okay. Well. No web workflow, but you can hit a local server by IP address or MDNS. Okay. No web workflow yet. Yeah, that's where I'm headed, is to try the local server. that really the wrong quote in their example? It is. Huh. Tutorials point? Thank you, PyCharm. So, I think if I just run this like this, it's only going to work on test server. Sure. What's incorrect about it? It's not return null. Oh. The one for the project, what do you mean? Remember all those things you installed? You asked for my password so you could install things? So I think this won't go, I think I won't be able to see it from the CircuitPython device with this. What was the port? 5000? Okay. But I think, and it would work this way, but it would not work. It would not work with this yet. Yeah. But we can make it do that if we, so go inside of here. Host port debug. I think if we go host this, we could choose whatever port we want. I'll just keep 5000. There we go. There we go. How's it going, Johnny? Good morning. Let me catch up here. Caps lock? Do I have caps lock on? No web workflow. Did you guys see Anecdota's quad redundant MDNS servers? No MDNS yet. I did see the one where it was all of the different connections, like Ethernet and Wi-Fi and something else in the mix as well. Only chat made a pull request for my magtag sensor example. Seems I'm behind on the development of the graphics. Oh, nice. Change max size and pixel shader. Oh yeah, max size got removed from group maybe, and then pixel shader. What is this pixel shader stuff? So pixel shader, I think, is it is a term that, as far as I'm aware, it's a term that is used interchangeably with palette. Essentially, pixel shader is a palette object, and it is basically a list that contains colors, hex colors. And yeah, so the API change is that bitmap object did not used to have pixel shader property. Instead, you used this built-in color converter. But now bitmap and on this bitmap as well, I think, yeah, have the pixel shader property. I don't know, one thing that it was always odd to me, I don't know how this used to work, right? Because it seems like how would this get the colors? I guess this must look up the colors from bitmap. I don't know how this one actually worked. This way makes a lot more sense because it works almost the same as image load. It's much more similar to image load this way. It is still a bit different because image load has a function that returns the bitmap and the palette, whereas onDis bitmap creates the bitmap object and then you get the palette from the property on it. And then max size definitely was removed a little while back. And upgrade mag tag. Yeah, you will definitely need newish. I don't remember the exact version. It might like 7.30 might still be good, but I'm not 100% sure. For max size, I'm pretty sure, but the pixel shader one, I'm less sure on that one. Here we go. So it won't be S. Was it 142? Yeah, 142. 5,000. Nice. Cool. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. Is your USB mounted up under the desk or something? That's pretty nice. Got a big USB thing that's just sitting on my desk. It would be nice if it was mounted somewhere, though. Yeah. Mine is 7 with individual buttons that can turn them on and off. A bit confusing that palette and pixel shader objects have the same properties, or do they? Um, as far as I know, yes. I mean, as far as I know, they're the same object. They certainly seem to be. Whenever I see them in usage, they seem to serve the same purpose and work the same way. I don't know if there is technical difference that I'm just not aware of, or they are actually one and the same. There we go. Sensor farm. Nice. Is that like a NFC card reader or something like that? The black one with the little radio? Or are those holes maybe? That's like an air quality thing maybe? Class palette. Map a pixel palette index into a full color. Colors are transformed to the display's format internally to save memory. So let's look at onDisk bitmap. It has a color converter or palette, which brings even a third term into the mix, right? Because now we have palette, pixel shader, and color converter, which used to be the thing that was used. Color converter converts one color format to another based on original display IO code for consistency. Only supports RGB 888 and 565. Dither adds random noise. So color converter can change between 888 and 565. Palette, it does not seem like does that. But I also don't know, like, what are the consequences of that? What does that really mean to someone using it, right? I'm not actually sure. This returns a palette instead of a color converter, so but I guess it's unclear. With onDisk bitmap, you could get either. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, the fact that they can convert 888 and 565 seems to be the technical difference, but I don't know. I don't really know what that means for us. And I also don't know why this one says it could be either. I mean, it seems like it would always be the same, but I guess it depends on the source image. Maybe if the source image is in 888, then you get back 565, or I don't know. Color converter is a function that returns a palette-like object. Yeah, but color converter is also a class, is it? I think it wasn't it also a class? Yeah, it's also a class. They both act like lists, but palette properties can't be inherited. Don't know about pixel shader. Right one is multi-sensor, temp, humidity, pressure, and light. Okay, the long black one is Geiger counter. Hopefully that one's getting a low reading. Sucker for sensors. Won't fit on the Pip-Boy. I have entire bins of unused sensors. If you get into microcontrollers, it's just a matter of time before you have a desk full of sensors. Yeah, it's definitely true. I got a lot of little breakouts and things. So let's do something interesting. Do something interesting. I don't know if this will work. we're gonna send it our own code. Which of course is gonna get an error the first time because our server doesn't actually handle it. We probably don't really want to print the data either. ebadf. ebadf. Error 9. What is that? Is this like a real thing, or error codes? Bad file descriptor. When we opened it? Read? No. $55. File descriptor? It almost seems like we didn't actually send it? Did we actually send it? Okay. Yeah, we sent it. We got back 404s. Oh. That's a sweet looking hub. Bad thing about Ampule or basic HTTP is that it's one long string. Not really like editing HTML file. Trying to expect minified. Working on Adafruit implementation to actually be an HTML file though. Need a deep dive into color converter. The dither function could be useful. Yeah, I didn't know there was dither built into that. I remember Jeff working on some dither stuff. I was thinking it was in bitmap tools rather than on like the palette or the color converter. I didn't know that either. How do we tell it this is a post, or how do we get the data? That's not quite what we want. Although that's nice too. Ah, there we go. Okay. And then request.form, it looks like. Is that in route or def? Route. I don't know what I don't know what we would be accessing here. Let's just try that. And then we can actually do this fancy thing here if we want to like make sure this is going to do something before we get back into CircuitPython land. Although I don't remember the syntax. Yeah, I don't remember the syntax. What is text? Plain text? Text plain. Got 404 again. Oh, we probably need to rerun this? Oh. Bitmap Tools has alpha merge, I believe. I had to put that in the sandbox list and check it out. Yeah, same here. Need to play with that thing as well. First thing I did when I got my first ESP32S2 was try to set up a local server. Didn't go very well. Still lots of work to be done in that area. Basic one should work alright, as far as I know. Although I can't say as though I've tried it, so... We could try it out. Well, on the Pico W, we could try it out. Although I don't know if it's intended to work yet. Not sure. Internal server error. Okay, that's different. That's not a 404 at least. That means we hit the server, but something went wrong. Request is not defined. Why not? Where does it come from? Is it supposed to get past here? Oh. Interesting. Bad request. One step at a time. Immutable multi-dict. What does that mean? Where's my HTTP output? Where's the output from this thing? Services. Why is it called services? Interesting. Bad request. Why would it be bad request? Is it mad that this is not actual plain text? No? Bad request. We have this wrong? Is it not supposed to be... Okay, they don't have trailing slashes. Maybe we don't want the trailing slash. No? Doesn't seem to make a difference. Oh, well, we didn't run it. 404. I guess it depends. Like we just need it to match here, I suppose. Mutable dicks. Yeah, sounds like a band name. Apologies if I missed some context, but the 7.3x version at least, Adafruit HTTP server can serve HTML styles in the file system. You're right that it's under active development. Yeah, and I think for at least, well, for ESP32S2 that one should work. For this Pico one, you'll definitely need a newer one. There's WSGI server as well. If you're not trying to serve files and instead just want to serve responses, like we're almost like we're doing from this Flask one. I don't know. Bad request. I mean, is it because of doing this? It sure feels like that's what's printing that, right? Okay. Why is that? That should be... I mean, it's arguable, I guess, but I feel like that should be 500, right? That's the backend is trying to access a thing that doesn't exist, and it causes it to crash. The backend should guard against that by checking to see if the things that it wants to access exist, and if they don't, then potentially return a bad request, but I feel like that hides the problem a bit. But not if you know how it works, I guess. Then it enlightens the problem. So maybe it's just that we don't know. Interestingly though, this looks empty, right? We're not. Doesn't seem like we're getting data. So I think we don't want form. We want like body. Yeah, I think if we were sending, so I'm trying to send it as a body rather than a form. Form just happens to be the example I came across first. Data, it looks like, is what we want. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Now back to CircuitPython land. Syntax error in JSON. Oh, we didn't get JSON back. I mean, I guess we could get JSON back, though. The beauty of owning both sides, right? Although, how do you return JSON? Do we just give it an object, or...? Key error data. Seems fair. We don't have a data. Nice. So then on the server side, should have got the the whole Python file. Syntax error? Right. Must be string, not bytes. Does that mean we need this? Bytes. Nope, wrong way. How do we get bytes to string? Decode. So close. One of these days. I wish it would rerun itself. Maybe there's a way to make it do that. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. There's our CodePy. We're able to send CodePy from the microcontroller up to the server and write it out to a file. And that worked. Let's see. Isn't there, I think there's a free trivia API, isn't there? Oh, interesting. Generated. Oh. Generated from the, interesting. Just from the arguments. Let's make a, you want to make a, let's make a trivia game. Let's make a terminal-based trivia game. So it will fetch questions, and then it will ask you the questions. You will type in your answers, and then it will keep track of your points. Let's make that. That sounds fun. Can't copy the UF2 to my mag tag says out of space. Out of space. Make sure you're definitely in boot mode. Make sure you have the right UF2 file. Sometimes I've grabbed the wrong one and had issues like that. The other thing is sometimes my computer reports errors that aren't true when I paste a UF2, but you would know that, I guess, because if you reset afterwards, you'd get CircuitPy. The partitions for CircuitPython are fixed size on each device. You can enlarge them, but you got to dive into the code. Yeah, I mean the UF2 though, it shouldn't. The CircuitPython partition is not where the UF2 goes, I don't think. I'm not exactly sure how it all works though, truthfully, with the file system. So we're going to keep all of this stuff, but everything after that's going to change. Is this pasted? No. Copied, I should say. Nice. We start with less. I feel like that took it a second. Maybe that's not so bad. Hey, look, we got a Linux question. What's the question? Linus Sebastian is the creator of Linux kernel, which went on to be based in Linux. I never heard that name for him. Boolean? I think it's false. I think it's Linus Torvalds or something like that. Yeah. Interestingly, they don't give you the real answer. They just give you the true false. You don't even get a chance to learn. I guess you could search maybe. I don't know. That guy's kind of rude. But I do like Linux. Yep. So you're just trying to update it and not write a custom. Yeah, that's the way I interpreted it at least, was that they were trying to just paste that UF2 that they downloaded from CircuitPython.org onto there. In that case, you shouldn't be over capacity. Yeah, yeah. Ideally, yeah. Normally, under normal conditions, it certainly wouldn't be full, or it wouldn't be too full to fit the UF2. That's definitely should work. Maybe they froze a module. No, I think it would fail to build if they had frozen a thing without realizing it, or just frozen a big thing and it took up too much space. It would fail to build instead of, I think, giving you a UF2 and then letting you paste it and then saying that you don't have enough room. He's eccentric, but he's used to dealing with machines, not humans. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like people should try to be nice to each other when possible, and I'm not sure he would agree with that as a blanket statement, so seems like he's sometimes mean to people who are just like trying to contribute code. Like, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to be mad at people for not doing something the way you wanted. Like, just try to be nice to them and tell them how you would like it done. I don't know. Doesn't seem that hard to me, but I mean, also, I've never been on a project anywhere near the size of Linux or Git, right? So I'm sure there's like a waterfall avalanche of contributions that may be subpar, so maybe that just wears on you over time. I don't know. So results is our object. No, let's do yeah, questions. Oh, that one seemed much faster. Okay. I will be back in just a minute. I gotta run to the restroom. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. I think just wants to be a troll. He's become a professional internet troll with too much money. Yeah. I mean, like I said though, I guess I could see how that may wear on you, but I still think it's easier to just be like kind of more nice and just say like, no, we don't want to do it that way. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me to just be rude to people who are ultimately trying to help, right? I guess maybe he doesn't perceive them as trying to help, but okay, so we got our questions. We're going to loop over our questions. We're going to print the current one, which is from question. Question. Okay, some of these are multiple choice. A lot of these are multiple choice. All of these ones. Oh, nope. The last one is Boolean, actually. True, false. So let's go if... Let's get cur question. Oh, but we already have cur question, huh? Oh, well. Object. Seems like I'm having issues getting to the right mode. I am running old beta versions of everything. So I do think if you never updated the bootloader mode on your magtag, I think the way it shipped, at least the early ones, I think they were, I think they didn't have UF2 on them yet. So you might need the, you might need to use either ESP Tool or there's a web version of ESP Tool, which is what I generally use because it's a lot easier than the Python thing in the command line. You don't have to set up as much. Yeah, C Wozniak is pretty cool. Didn't have to deal with people. Empathy and patience go a long way. Was delivered before the bootloader or CPU was ready. How to install beta versions. You may not have UF2 bootloader then. You may have the one that is working from serial. Yeah, I mean, I kind of, yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about programming. I like programming. Programming's pretty cool. Or I'm going to talk about programming. You all are certainly free to talk about whatever you like within the bounds of the server, but I am less interested in. So we want to check the type if it's multiple. And if it is, then we want to print the wrong answers and the right answers, but we probably want to randomize them, right? How do we want to do that? Is there like just randomize a list? Shuffle? Do we have that? choice. Random choice? How does random choice work? Yeah, please let's not have this discussion in the chat here. Yeah. That looks good. Thank you. So we want to loop them. So we want to like, we could get them in a list and in order, and then we could loop and do choice. So let's get a list that has all the choices, and then we'll make a randomized version of it. I'm actually going to go questions. Is it incorrect answers? Oh, it's not like that though. And then we can just add, but it's not questions, it's question object. Correct answer. And then we could go shuffled choices equals list. So this is not necessarily the most efficient, because if we keep rolling the same number with our random, then we just keep looping, but I don't think it will matter that much, because we should hit all 4 within, I don't know, a dozen loops or something. It should still be pretty much instant. So while the length of this is less than the length of the choices, and then we go contains? Ooh, oh, in, right. So we go if random choices not in shuffled, then shuffled append. Oh, but we need to like choose it. We need to store it, otherwise it'll be different next time. Well, it could be different next time. It'll probably be different next time. It's going to keep looping until this one is the same size as this one, which means we will have added all 4. As we're adding them, we're only adding them if they're not already in the list. So we should end up with a list of answers that have been shuffled. Should we like... I guess we just print them by themselves. So we need also we need to like input. How do we input? Like supervisor serial bytes or something like that? Maybe it wasn't supervisor. Serial connected. Runtime. Serial bytes available. But I guess there's a built-in input too. Can we just go like... Can we just do this? I mean, I guess it would be answer. Must be integers, not strings. Did this again. Ah, we got some of these things going on. Are those URL encoded? It's not, is it? This is like HTML. Like HTML encoding. So we replace quote that must be single quote. We didn't call the function. Okay. I've never even heard of Kent Jones. It was not included. I mean, if I were making a total guess, I would guess Japanese because Spanish, Portuguese, and French are all languages spoken in Europe near each other physically. So, like, if this person lived around here, it would probably not be that out of the ordinary for them to use or at least know all three languages. Japanese feels further out there, though. Unfortunately, we don't actually have answer checking in place, and we are not printing the JSON anymore, which means we don't get to know the answer. YouTube? Go here. In what year was the last natural case of smallpox documented? I have no idea. Smallpox. When did we get smallpox vaccine? I'm not sure. I'm gonna say 1980. Oh, we should have a space after this. I'll wait and I'll answer a few here. Incorrect. We should probably print the correct answer, maybe. Oops, I didn't mean to save it, but I did. Oh, what? Why didn't we get our single quote? Oh. Shoot, because these are the answers. Would the answer have the escape in it also, though? It must, right? Surely it would. We actually need to... We need to have unescaped answers and choices. Do it in the choices, and then when we go to... Should have the answer. Because the user is definitely going to type it escaped, or unescaped, I should say. Which of these is not an island that's part of the Philippines? Is Java in the Philippines? I don't think so. I don't know where Java's at, but I don't recall. Correct. Nice. Oh, shoot. Who sees what we did? Java's near Indonesia, okay. Sumatra. What is the fourth book of the Old Testament? I don't know. Numbers. We should probably have maybe print lines before the question also. Play this one through if we can. Which famous rapper is featured in... What is that? Umlaut? Must be an umlaut, right? I don't know how we would... wonder if there's answers with that in it. Needs new line after answers. Like extra new lines? I mean, we have one new line. If there were some that were multiple lines of answer, then it would make sense, I think, for an extra line. An extra empty line. An extra empty line here, though, will just make it take up more space. I kind of like it tighter. Skrillex and Diplo's Febreze. Yeah. I don't know that we could just... I don't know if we can use that character or not. Famous rapper. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've only heard of 2 of these people. It's not really my domain. That was the other one, though. We do need a line between here, which I have next. Which of these worm games featured 3D? I don't know. That's weird though. Worms was and should remain 2D, so I'm not all about it. I guess probably Worms 4? I don't know. That sounds newer. Nice. In the game Call of Duty, what's the last level where you play as an American soldier? I don't know. I never played Call of Duty. I didn't know Call of Duty. Is there a single player Call of Duty? I thought that was like online multiplayer. Incorrect. In the first Left 4 Dead, you can play as either of these 4 characters. Well, okay, it's probably not this. This is Harry Potter. Bender is Futurama. Are any of the rest of these? And Brian is in Futurama? No, Brian's the dog in Family Guy. Is that right? Is there a Brian in Futurama? Let's say these ones. Python is everywhere. 3D version wasn't great. Yeah, that game would be way harder in 3D. It's like that adds a whole new axis to aiming your shot, which that game is like artillery game, right? You shoot back and forth. Basically sand. Lemmings. Bender, Andrew, and others might be Left 4 Dead 2. Ah. I'm gonna try Coach. Coach Ellis, Nick, Rochelle. The one thing is you do have to spell everything correctly. Incorrect. Francis, Bill, Zoe, and Lewis. That was my other guess. I'm doing pretty decent to get down to 50-50, but after that it's tough. How many calories are in 355 milliliter can of Pepsi? I have no idea. How big of a can is that? Is that a regular can? I don't know how big of a size of can that is. Which were in Left 4 Dead 4, definitely Francis, Bill, Zoe. I gotcha. I never played Left 4 Dead. I never played any of them. How many calories? I mean, Pepsi Cola is not, this is not like Diet Pepsi or sugar free or anything, so it's basically like carbonated sugar water, so let's go the biggest one, right? Although this is interesting that we would have 2 so close together, which kind of makes me think actually 155 might be the answer. Yeah, I think 155 actually. 150. What year did Bashuijo Senshi Sailor Moon air in Japan? I don't know. 92? I don't know. Nice. Which of the following Mario Kart 8 Deluxe items? You know what else we should do is print the current question number. It should say like question 7 : and then the question. I'm not going to change it because I might accidentally save, and I do want to actually get through to the end here if we can. Which of the following Mario Kart 8 Deluxe items will not make you invincible? Well, Star. So I had never played no Mario Kart 8. I played the first Mario Kart, and I played a Mario Kart on N64, but I don't know what it was called. Star makes you invincible. I could see Boo turning you into a ghost, which by proxy would probably make you invincible. Golden Mushroom is golden, so I could see that being a lot like Star. Bullet Bill doesn't sound like a thing that would make you invincible. Golden Mushroom. Wow. Who's the founder of Palantir? I don't even know what that is. Well, that's Twitter. That's that guy. Peter Thiel? I don't know who that is, but I've heard the name before. This one I haven't heard at all. And I haven't heard of this at all, so I'm going to go with the person I've never heard of. Peter Thiel. Which of the following characters are not playable in Resident Evil 6? Never played it. Let's see. Thanks for the follow over there on Twitch, Vinny Maya. Appreciate it, my friend. Sherry. Like the original headsets for PC that had those Walkman-style metal band headsets. Oh, Planter is a 90s headset company. Ah. Original headsets for PCs that had the metal band. I gotcha. Incorrect. I got 2 out of 10. Not great. Not great. Those categories were all over the place, right? I think you can narrow it down by categories. You don't really want to know what it does. All right. I'll avoid it for now. So we said what? We want to ask the question. Might as well one index it. Turn out the score also. I'm gonna pass for now, so let's not put it in the chat. Whatever it is. Feels like I'm probably happier not knowing. Well, we have 2 now. Wait. Didn't we get 2? Where did we get? Oh, okay. It's not a multiple choice. It's a Boolean. What is LD quo? Oh, left quote, right quote? Come on. Why are those even existing? Boy named Sue? I think it's Johnny Cash, maybe? I think it's Johnny Cash, which would make it false. I think Shel Silverstein is an author. True? Okay, well, fair enough. Didn't know that. So we have, this is weird, we shouldn't do this. If we have a multiple question, we should, or I mean, if we have a Boolean question, we shouldn't do these doubles. What age was King Henry V when he died? I don't know, probably pretty young. I don't know which king. I mean, 5? I guess 5's pretty new. I don't know. 35, I should have went with my gut. Which franchise had a special event hosted in the popular MMO Final Fantasy? Got the special Pokemon. I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh? Pokemon? I mean, I don't really see Pokemon holding an event inside of another game. That doesn't make that much sense to me. I feel like they would want to keep their users inside their game. So unless Final Fantasy is also owned by Nintendo, then that seems like kind of an unlikely crossover to me. And I would assume it's not owned by Nintendo, because I'm pretty sure the early Final Fantasies were on PlayStation. I'm sure nowadays they're on both or everything. Yu-Gi-Oh? I don't really know, but I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh maybe skews to a younger age group than Final Fantasy might, but I don't, like I said, I don't really know. Buddy Fight, Yokai Watch, I don't think I've heard of either of those things. Buddy Fight sounds like it would be kind of silly, and having an event inside an MMO sounds kind of silly. Nope, Yokai Watch. I got down to the... I'm pretty good at getting to 50-50. Maybe we should add lifelines. Got the mag tag updated. Nice. Which of these characters was almost added to... That's not a real question. Which one was almost added? Too far in development? I don't know. I don't think I've heard of any of those characters. Smash Brothers. I think that's an O. Incorrect. Solid Snake. Pistons were added in Beta 1.5. I have no idea. Probably whenever Redstone was added. Sure. Nope. One's gonna be tough. Ranked 6 already. We have no points. In the novel Lord of the Rings, how many rings of power are given to the race of man? I don't know. I guess I thought 1, right? Seems like they're after 1 the whole time. 1's not a choice. I mean, surely it's not very many. 5 seems special, I guess. 9. Club Penguin? I don't even know what that is. What is that? Club Penguin. Club Penguin. I feel like one of these two is correct, and the other one is put in as like the red herring. So do we think 21st or 24th? Go 21st. Oh my goodness. I am losing so many coin flips. Which of these characters is not in Crash Bass? Boss, not a boss. I don't know what this is. Is that a Crash Bandicoot game? Nitrous oxide? I mean, that's a chemical, I think. Crash Bash? Ripperoo. What does RAID stand for? It probably stands for multiple different things. Okay, hard drive. There's a hard drive thing, I guess. Yeah, that sounds right. It's like having a duplicated hard drive. Make sure I spelled it right. We got one in. Which of the following was a map that was in Team Fortress 2? Okay, this one I probably got. Uh, at launch. At launch. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I feel like both of these feel the same age to me. I think both of these existed by the time I started playing, which was not really when it launched. It was honestly way after, probably years after it launched. I'm gonna say Gold Rush. Gravel Pit. Okay, that time at least I didn't fail the coin flip. We got one. Okay, let's fix Boolean, and let's see if we can give the user a choice of categories. We only do this one if it's multiple. Yeah. Let's see how the API works. Any category. Can you just say entertainment? Oh no, they're just numbers. I was expecting strings. Can you pass multiple? Response code 2. Nope. That seemed like you can pass multiple. But I guess I mean, like, if you wanted multiple, you could make 2 requests, fetch them both, and then put them into a list together. You get 5 and 5 or something. But why can I highlight? Why can I not highlight? Already exists. It's interesting it takes a string for this one. Okay, this feels like total overkill, but I'm gonna make a Python script to parse this into a dictionary. But yes, that does feel like total overkill. But you know what? We're here, we're working on Python, we're gonna write Python. split on the new line. I guess we don't. I mean, we could keep that if we want. We could just say if. Linux dance venue. Got to jump out of here. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, take it easy, C. Grover. Thanks for hanging out. Impressive how easy it is to build a web project with W and CircuitPython. Yeah. Seems, yeah, it's smooth sailing so far. I wasn't sure what the process was like, but it seems like it's feels pretty solid to me. I mean, we're doing basic stuff, but okay, so if we split on the double quote, then we will this will be index 0, this will be index 1, which is what we want, and this will be index 2. So we're split on the double quote, and then we want index 1. Yes, I probably could do this faster by just doing it instead of writing the Python code. But what would be the fun in that? So then if we split on the greater than, it should be index 1, index 2, up to here actually. Well, index 0, index 1, and then we could just remove the option thing. Split on this, get number 1, replace option with nothing. We want names or IDs? Does it matter? Oh, F string. ask that category, put it in chosen, and category equals chosen. Order is a little rough, but maybe we should have made it a list instead of a dictionary. Oh well. All right. What do we want? Video games? Although I feel like a lot of the video games ones have been games I don't play. Board games. Science computers. That seems promising. That's a little bit more up my alley. In any programming language, what's the most common way to iterate through an array? I mean, for loops? Is it really the most common way in any programming language, though? I'm sure there's a programming language with a different most common way? Like a while loop? I don't know, maybe. Which internet company began life as an online bookstore called Cadabra? I mean, Amazon was a bookstore. eBay, Overstock, and Shopify were not bookstores to the best of my knowledge. Maybe Overstock, but I would assume Amazon. I don't ever recall hearing Cadabra as a name. It's not a great name for a bookstore, so I guess I could see why they changed. On which day did the World Wide Web go online? The World Wide Web go online? 90, is it 96 or is it 90? I mean, I feel like it may be 90 since there's two 90s, but 96 stuck out to me as well. The World Wide Web. I think it's got to be before 96, right? Oh, the coin flip of doom again. We're already up to score 2, though, which is tied for my maximum, and we're only on question 4, so I'm feeling good about this category. Yep, that's true. RAM, random access memory. Which component draws the most power? Boy, that's a loaded question, right? That depends 100% entirely on what the computer's doing. I mean, I guess video card processor? These are probably our choices. Unless you count the fact that the power supply is drawing power from the building and giving it to the rest of these things, in which case the power supply must, as a necessity, draw more than all of the things that it feeds. Draws. Is draws a technical term for power? Maybe it doesn't count as drawing power from the grid, or maybe it doesn't draw. Yeah, maybe the power supply doesn't count as drawing power, since it's just like getting it and giving it back. I mean, I guess video card? Video card, I would guess, has the most complex math the majority of the time happening the quickest. Nice. Certainly if you use it for mining. In most programming languages, the operator plus plus is equivalent to plus equals 1. Yeah, in all the ones I know of. What is known as the brain of the computer? CPU? These are easy. I feel like the other categories are so much harder, but I guess that's just because it's not my domain. LaserJet and inkjet are both examples of what type of printer? Dot matrix, I guess. Daisy wheel. Daisy wheel. They both have wheels inside them. Impact printer. Non-impact printer. I guess I'll go daisy wheel because I'm pretty sure there's like a spindle inside there. Dot matrix I think is older, but I mean they are printing pixels, so like they could be dot matrix. I think they are at least. Maybe I'm wrong. Non-impact printer. Interesting. I wonder what that is. Which of these is not a layer in the OSI? I don't know what OSI is. Data communications, application layer, physical layer, connection layer, transport layer. Connection layer? Transport layer, connection layer. I feel like connection layer. DC power. I got some positive feedback for power distribution. I put it on GitHub, both PCB and the enclosure. Nice. Thank you for sharing that. Open source? Oh, okay. Open source initiative? Interesting. Data communications? I gotta think it's connection layer. I mean, I don't feel like the connection represents a layer, or if anything, it would be part of the transport layer. So you have like the program that's running at the end of the line, the hardware that it's running on, the protocols and systems it's using to transfer data back and forth with other programs. This would involve connecting to something, but it feels like connection would be inside of here. Nice. The teapot seen in many applications is called what? Oh. Is that really a computer question? Like a teapot question. 3D modeling question. Open system interconnect. I mean, Tennessee, Utah, Pixar. So it seems like it was probably named after whichever entity released it into public domain and or very permissively licensed, whatever it's licensed under. I mean, Tennessee Teapot should be the right answer because it has alliteration. But if it was the University of Utah that made it, then it would not make sense to call it the Tennessee Teapot, certainly. And if Pixar made it, they probably wouldn't call it Tennessee Teapot. So I guess it's either University of Tennessee, University of Utah, or Pixar. So do we think a university open sourced it, or do we think Pixar open sourced it? I mean, I don't see why Pixar would bother doing that. They seem like a company that's trying to make money. I don't see how they'd make money by releasing a 3D model. So I don't know why they would spend their time on that or bother open sourcing it if they did spend their time on it for testing something. There's no harm in it for them, I guess. Nobody's gonna like steal their teapot and make a competing movie out of it, but it doesn't seem like something they would spend time on to me. So do we think Utah or Tennessee? I don't know anything about either school or state, really, assuming they both have universities. Utah feels less populated to me. So maybe more like rural type stuff going on at their university. So maybe not computer stuff. Although I don't know if that counts or if that makes sense because like we have two colleges where I'm at, and the one that's more rural also does have programming and computer science and stuff. I'll say Tennessee. Don't see Pixar releasing something. He couldn't have been a big thing in Utah. That's a good point. Yeah, tea from the South. Southerns do like their tea. Southern U.S. residents commonly enjoy the beverage of tea. Utah. Darn it. We got 7 though, which is much better than what we were on before, and that seems like it's working. Okay, I think that's probably gonna do it for now. I'll throw this up on GitHub if anybody wants to use it or play the game. I think I'm gonna head out after that. Ooh, what song is this? I don't think I've heard this one before. Oh, acoustic, okay. Maybe I have, but not the acoustic one. Ooh. Yeah, that should be enough. Can you have emojis in the name of your repository? I shouldn't do that though, right? Because then it's harder to clone. We'll put them in here. OpenTDB.com. Thanks again, Tim. Have a nice weekend. Here locally, quite some noise from a football game in the stadium. Already the second game this week in a stadium. So I don't have a stadium close to my house, but I stayed one time in another city, and it was a college town, and they had a massive stadium that we could see from our hotel room, and they had a football game in there while we were there, although this is American football, American college football to be specific, not what Americans might call soccer. But it was fascinating to be able to see the stadium from the hotel and like watch it fill up and watch this ginormous mass of people just descend upon it in the hours leading up to the game. It was a fascinating thing to see. Thanks for the company. Yeah, for sure. Thank you as well. 3 or 4 weeks ago in the weekly meeting, let me see what I missed. Great question. Utahns for having something to do with, yeah. Yes, you can. Jepler figured it out. Also specifically said in the meeting. Oh, in the repo name. I saw Jeff figured it out for, I think, a branch or a commit message or something. I think it was a branch. I did on accident at first. Caused an issue. Yeah, if it weren't for the clone, like, if it did support it, I would put it in there, except for the fact that cloning it might be harder, because it might not... I don't know if all terminals would let you have the emojis in there. It may not. I don't even... Yeah, like I said, though, I don't know if it is. It sounds like it probably is. I know branches are good for that, and I know commit messages are okay as well. I just don't know about the repository names. Let's go to this one. It'd be cool if Circup could read the requirements text file and install all the things in it. Although I guess Circup can read the CodePy file and install all the things in it, which would kind of make it not necessary to read requirements. I'm gonna get 4 of those. Make sure that's right. Yeah. 4,000 verified questions. 9,100 pending. Goodness. Yeah, that's my fear, is that some either terminals or the file systems might mess up. Like one of the local club players made a goal and the nice. Yeah. See you, Paul. I did hear about something like that with the football game over in Indonesia. That's scary stuff, man. Large groups of people are scary. Something works for the Pico W, that doesn't mean it will work for the regular Pico if it includes any wireless connection code. I guess specifying it for Pico. Yeah, it would be a lot more difficult to make it work on the Pico. Honestly, on the plain Raspberry Pi Pico, if you wanted to make this work, you would probably need to use the ESP32 SPI library, and you would need to connect a airlift device an ESP32 that's running the Airlift firmware, you would need to connect that via SPI to the original Raspberry Pi Pico. If you did that and you modified CodePy to use ESP32 SPI instead of import Wi-Fi, import SSL, and import socket pool, then I think the rest of this could probably work. But that's a lot of caveats, obviously, and I haven't tried it, so I could also be wrong. But that's my guess, is that you could, but you would need the SPI one rather than the built-in stuff. Yeah, or that's a good point as well. Yeah, Ethernet would work too. Yeah, if you're gonna, you could go Ethernet instead of Wi-Fi. That would work as well. Yeah, in which case you'd be using, I guess, WizNet library. You just need a library that's going to provide you that connection and some kind of external breakout with the ability to get that connection, basically. Yeah, no, you would 100% for sure. You'd also have to change the imports for that. That would be like the WizNet library. Yeah, definitely different stuff. All right, this is pushed, right? Yeah, we got our README in there. Link is good. All right. I'm going to head out for now. Thanks for hanging out, folks. I hope everybody has a good day and a good weekend and all of that stuff. I don't know exactly when I'll be back. Definitely next week for Deep Dive. I will be back at the latest then, but possibly sometime before then. If you are interested in this kind of stuff, you can follow me on Twitch. You'll get a notification then when I go live, if it happens to be before the next week's Deep Dive on Friday. Otherwise, I will see you next time that I'm on. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. And yeah, like I said, I hope everyone has a good day and a good weekend. So I'll catch you later. Bye.